Well, ladies and gentlemen, not necessarily the update we were expecting, but the share price seemed to like it. And I like what this means for the long-term prospects of Gratomic. Gratomic announces initiation of benching program at its Aukam Project in Namibia. So let's talk about what this actually means in dum-dum language, where this fits into Gratomic accelerating from 0 to a full 100 graphite production company, and what this means for the short-term share price of Gratomic. Now first, what does this article even mean? And this really is the key phrase of the article. Benching program. Initially, I didn't really see how pumping some iron would help it becoming profitable. That being said, my dumb ass also had to Google this term, so don't you worry if you didn't initially understand what benching actually is. Benching is this, or even better explained like this, or even better explained like this. Basically, benching is where you create these horizontal surfaces while digging down this huge, enormous hole to extract your material. So the title of the article could have also stated open pit mining program. It would have meant the same to us investors. So basically, Gratomic will start open pit mining at their flagship property in Namibia on the 15th of August. Benching explained in Gratomic's words, benching typically consists of successfully cutting berms alongside the mountain edge, which will steadily expose underground material at the same time ensuring the stability of the mountain structure. So really, by using this benching open pit mining strategy, Gratomic hopes to ensure both safety and stability while still being able to extract their juicy graphite feedstock right out of the Aukam mountain. This process allows for the collection of graphite in stages as the platforms are constructed on the Aukam mountain. Now some really juicy bips and bobs. The company estimates this phase of the program will take around 6 months and it is expected to move around 20,000 tons of graphite feedstock material. As a reference, this is plus or minus the same amount as the historic stockpiles laying around at Aukam. Back from the 1970s when Aukam was actually an operational graphite mine. Gratomic will first process those historic stockpiles, but this benching program will allow for a continuous source of graphite even when those historic stockpiles run out. So with this first phase, Gratomic ensures itself roughly 40,000 tons of graphite feedstock for just the following 6 months. Good move, Gratomic. Now some wholesome words from the CEO Anode. It has been a labor-intensive drilling campaign. And here he is referring to the drilling being done at Aukam to hopefully tell us how much graphite is actually available in the ground, with the end goal publishing an NI 43-101 resource estimation, hopefully during Q4 of this year already. But he continued with, which has solidified our confidence in the Aukam asset, the results of which have allowed us to intricately plan next steps, leading to the commencement of the benching program that is slated to begin on the 15th of this month, which again is August. So really, in dum-dum language, this is what this article actually means. Gratomic is starting up an open pit mine at Aukam, starting on the 15th of August, to ensure itself a steady supply of graphite feedstock for its graphite processing facility. Moreover, this first phase should take up to 6 months and it should provide us up to 20,000 tons of graphite feedstock, which is a hella juicy prospect. Now let's talk about what this means for Gratomic. And this is the roadmap of Gratomic all the way from today up until the end of this decade. The start of the open pit mine at Aukam really fits into this 2022 bubble portrayed right here. It was my pleasure to answer this question. No, but really it does fit into this bubble. It means Gratomic is right on track to complete their goals for this year. It means that their drilling was successful since they were able to answer all their open pit mining related questions. Otherwise, they wouldn't go ahead with an open pit mining program. Operational readiness was already achieved at Aukam, so now we're just awaiting that feasibility study and the entering of their operational phase. And to be honest, the starting up of their open pit mine is also a key ingredient of being fully operational at Aukam, so they are also getting there on that front. Now we are just awaiting 3 more huge catalysts, 3 huge operational achievements, but we should talk about those during the next segment of this video, which is what this means for the share price. Sorry to disappoint, this is really all that this news report meant for the share price, a nice 3.5% bump in one day, which is pretty cool, but not the exciting returns we're all waiting for. So let me answer this question instead. I recently got this question from friends and family asking me when I was actually expecting a serious increase in the share price of Gratomic. And I told them, just like I'm telling you now, I am no short-term stock picking messiah. I do not have insider information, and honestly, I know just as much about Gratomic as the entire public knows. All that is to say, with all this uncertainty, your guess is as good as mine. Still, here is my answer. Here's when I am expecting a serious increase in the share price of Gratomic. First, we are expecting the Aukam resource estimation and the Aukam feasibility study around the Q4 timeframe. Originally, we received a September timeframe, but during some recent interviews, Armando Verhaten told us that that might be slightly delayed. Anyways, that is the first big catalyst. That is a serious de-risking event. When those two finally get released to the public, perhaps in combination with the same documentation for Capim Grosso, which is the Brazilian property, then I do believe we could see a 1.5 to maybe $2 Canadian figure attached to the Gratomic share price. Maybe not yet an all-time high, but some seriously good returns on the short term. When I really expect Gratomic to start trading at a significant multiple compared to today's value is when we really start getting revenues. And those revenues, hopefully starting by Q4 as well, should be released in the Q4 financial statements. And those financial statements should be released around March and April of 2023. So if we get those revenues throughout the 4th quarter, and if those do get released in the financial statements around March/April of 2023, then I do believe we could see a 3+ Canadian dollar figure attached to the Gratomic share price. But again, this is just some fun speculation. This is not something that I'm willing to bet this dump trunk on. However, I am betting my booty on the long-term success of Gratomic. I am holding a pretty large amount of shares for me, and if we were trading around my cost basis of 75 Canadian cents, Gratomic would make up roughly 62% of my portfolio. I do not recommend this degenerate behavior to anyone really, but here we are. My portfolio rides or dies on the long-term success of Gratomic. However, I am going to sell a couple of shares on the way up. I am planning to hold roughly half of my shares up until at least 2025 and hopefully beyond, or up until the story of Gratomic changes. Then I will not hesitate to sell. And really, that is all from my side today. When do you think Gratomic will finally start its uptrend? Let us all know down below in the comment section. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Peace.